Here's Paul Meijer on the attack at Tozer for the race lead.
And then the gap was only like 5 or 6 or 7 points. So I was completely in the zone to win the championship again.
He's blown the championship wide open. Paul Meijer on the top step of the podium.
I'm Paul Meijer. I've been started racing. I'm from Holland, by the way. Started racing in 2001, mostly 2001 until 2009 in Formula cars. Then switched over to GT cars and GT4 European Series. Then I ran out of budget, ran out of money, and I decided to start a normal life. Did that for 10 years and started itching everywhere. And I wanted to go back in the car. And my brother-in-law actually gave me a chance to do some coaching work for him. And then everything started up again. I was on the track, I met some people again. And from that came a few racing seasons again. So my first complete racing season was actually last year. So 2010 my last, then in 2024 my full first racing season again. So that was was spectacular for me because I thought I was finished, and it started all over again. So really good. Okay, my epic racing story from this year, from the Porsche Benelux, Carrera Cup Benelux. The season started off really difficult for us in Spa-Francorchamps. Also testing went really well, but when we started qualifying there was like, out of 35 minutes, we had like 8 minutes green light, and the rest was red because of a crash and something happened, and they just let the time run. So we lost so many times. I wanted to wait in the beginning of the qualifying. In the end, I only got 1 quick lap, and you need to do 2 quick laps for the 2 races. So it made me start 1 race pole position and 1 race last. So you can imagine how that is in the first weekend when you think, oh, we go for the championship. It was really difficult. So that was a bad start of the season. After that weekend, I was like, I think 3rd or 4th in the championship. Took a podium in the second race from the pole position. And after that, it went better and better. We could go in the second weekend. We went to 2nd place in the championship. And we arrived at Imola. It was actually a really good battle with 2 times world champion Carrera Cup. For me, it was quite an important weekend because it was halfway through the season. At that point, I think I was 2nd in the championship. And I had the chance to take over the lead in the championship in that weekend. Everything started off really well in the weekend. We had a good test day. The Friday free practice was really good, and then we went off to the qualifying, which I had really bad luck with all the red flags. So we should have been on pole position, but not always. You don't always get what you deserve. So I think I started 2nd or 3rd in the first race. After a really good start, I was chasing Carrera Cup.
Of the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux here at Imola gets underway, and a good start for Carrera Cup. There were briefly yellow flags further back in the order, but I think the semi-staller has got moving again now. Down towards Tamburello they will go as Paul Meijer has a long look at the inside of the Finnish double World Rally champion, but there's no way by on the opening lap. So Rovanperä will lead them as they go through the sweepers in the early stages of this half-hour race.
Paul Meijer putting Carrera Cup under real pressure as they come towards the end of this first lap.
And Meijer in the half-white, half-blue car, definitely wanting to dispatch Rovanperä as early as possible.
And he's a big talent, of course, in rally sport, but also in the Porsche he was doing really well. So he was leading the race, and I was just overlooking everything. Where can I pass him? And he was really keeping me behind in a really good way.
Around this place, and there's not much margin for error. Kalle Rovanperä, with his expertise on loose surfaces as well, that might come into the reckoning should he drop a tyre or 2 into the gravel trap. 0.3 of a second over Paul Meijer, who's trying every trick in the book in the early stages to get through. as they arrive at Rivazza for the second time.
Then halfway through, I think about four laps into the race, or 5 laps in the race, I made a really like a dive bomb into the hairpin.
5-car Thomas Radonis did make his way by Jules Kral's, the 77 car.
Here's Paul Meijer, bit of a dummy coming out of the previous corners, maybe giving him the impression that he was going to go around the outside, and now into Piritella, should have the inside line to take the race lead, and does so. And Rovanperä needs to be cautious here because the third place car of Robin Knudsen is snapping at his heels, and Rovanperä has driven brilliantly well. I thought he'd gone too wide at Piritella, and that would have allowed the 32 up the inside.
I really surprised him, because it was like I went completely outside. He thought, oh, he will not come, and on the last moment I jumped inside, and I overtook him for the lead there. And from there on, I could I gained some time on him, make a gap, and I won my race. I will remember that one also because he's quite an impressive driver. Of course, has a lot of fans worldwide, and I also took the lead in the championship that weekend. So for me, that was one of the best races in the whole season, because we were really strong there. The pace of the car and of the whole team was amazing. And if you win the race, you take the lead in the championship. Of course, it's a brilliant weekend. And after that, it went a little bit down for me, because we have Asse, really great pace again, fastest in all the practices. Also in qualifying, it went really well. But in the race I was leading, and I got hit from behind and went wide, and I came back on 5th place. And from there it was a really difficult race for me. Then we went to Austria, Red Bull Ring, and actually I made my first big mistake there, like a rookie mistake. In qualifying, it was my first time on the dry track, because all the practice sessions were in wet. And Q1 actually went fine. I was I think in 6th place. Never drove one lap in dry though with this car, so not too bad. So I think if I get 4, 5, 10s out of it, it should be fine for the race, and we can be in top 3. And on my second cold set of tires, and I went out of the pit lane, and I thought I'm going to steer to the right, and I went just straight, everything locked, and I crashed into the barriers. So that was qualifying done. I started both races like 9th place, and that was a really important weekend, because we could have gained a few points in the championship. And in the end, I lost momentum there. I lost time, and also in one of the 2 races was so much aquaplaning, rain again, so they cancelled the race. I think I finished that one in P6 or something. And the second race, same starting position, 8 or 9. And in turn 3, I thought, I will brake a bit on the outside, a little bit later than the rest. And the rear locked up, and I went straight into gravel. Had to come back last on track. Went back in the race to P7, I guess. So lost a lot of points there. And that was not the final weekend, but the final weekend was in Zolder. And when we came there, I had 22 points behind, I think, of P1. So everybody said, you're done for the championship, and I said, I give it one good go. So at Zolder I had a really good pace, started I think P2 in the race.
Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux is go, a great start from Paul Meijer. He mugs Kalle Rovanperä off the line into the left-hander, and Rovanperä dropped back behind Sasha Norton as well. There's Dirk Schouten on the outside, challenging for position. He will want to break clear of Dirk Schouten. He needs every point he can get, but look at Dirk Schouten in that 4th place. So Schouten there, he has got cars around him challenging for position. But it was Paul Meijer who received the checkered flag. Sasha Norton with a 2nd place, a great points haul for him. He's blown the championship wide open. Paul Meijer on the top step of the podium. And all of the championships are going down to the wire.
Won the first race, and then Dirk Schouten made a few mistakes, lost a lot of points, and then the gap was only like 5 or 6 or 7 points. So I was completely in the zone to win the championship again.
This will be significant. We are go. A great start from Kalle Rovanperä. Not such a good start from Sasha Norton. Keep an eye on Dirk Schouten and Paul Meijer heading into turn 1. Dirk Schouten tucked up behind Paul Meijer. These drivers cannot afford to have a non-finish. A little bit of contact between Meijer and Dirk Schouten.
It is Kalle Rovanperä who leads the field around turn 1 and in towards turn 2 they come. It's Rovanperä, Sasha Norden, Paul Meijer, Dirk Schuiten, the champion, but we've got a long way to go. Dirk Schuiten to the inside of Paul Meijer, doing exactly what he needs to do. He was struggling for pace yesterday in the number 34 car, but he goes deep into the corner. Paul Meijer back through on the inside. This is the fight for the championship. Paul Meijer must finish in front of Dirk Schuiten to have any chance at all of winning this championship in the season finale here at Zolder. Kalle Rovanperä disappearing at the front, but our eyes are on the battle for second place. Paul Meijer, Dirk Schuiten there as well, but Dirk Schuiten does not need to do any more. Paul Meijer needs to break clear, and he needs to be well clear of Dirk Schuiten to win this championship.
And the last race, I finished P2, had a good battle, P2, kept Dick Schuiten again behind, and lost the championship on 3.5 points, which was really, after this season, I threw it away in the Red Bull ring, basically. So I can look in the mirror and say, okay, you made a mistake yourself, and it's your own mistake, but still, it's a little bit to lose the championship by 3.5 points. My last season was in 2010. I came back in motorsport again, and I didn't expect to fight a championship like this. All the youngsters and all the talents are there in the Carrera Cup, all over Europe. And for me, it was a good surprise that we had so much pace and that we could fight for the championship. Vice champion in the end. Yeah, not too bad for the old man. Most of the guys are half my age, and so that's always a good thing. I mean, and I had fun. We were in a new team. I actually raced with Hans Wijs Motorsport, a new team in the Carrera Cup as well, and we had to find out everything. No experience from the team, no experience from me with the car. If you look back at that, we did a brilliant job, I think.